Ever wonder why your ancestors didn't just grab any rock and start cooking breakfast? Spoiler, some of them probably tried once. Picture yourself out in the wild, campfire crackling, stomach growling, and there's this perfect flat stone just sitting there like nature's skillet. You're thinking you've just unlocked some ancient survival hack. You place that beautiful river rock right over the flames and wait for sizzle time. But here's the thing, nobody mentions in those romanticized bushcraft videos. That innocent looking stone is basically a tiny pressure cooker with a very short fuse. And you're standing right next to it. See, rocks aren't the solid, unchanging objects we imagine them to be. They're porous, they breathe, they hold secrets. Specifically, they hold water, sometimes just moisture, sometimes actual pockets of liquid trapped inside for who knows how long. Now imagine what happens when you take something with water inside and subject it to intense, direct heat. The water doesn't just evaporate politely. It expands, it boils, it builds pressure inside a container that was never designed to release it gradually. You're essentially creating a geological grenade. The scientific term is thermal shock, but that sounds way too clinical for what's actually happening. We're talking about a rock detonating in your face while you're trying to cook dinner. The explosion isn't some gentle crack either. When these stones go, they send shrapnel flying at velocities that would make your kitchen blender jealous. Sharp, superheated fragments launching in every direction into your eyes, your skin, your food, your camping buddies who thought this was a good idea. River stones are the worst offenders here. All that time tumbling around in water means they've absorbed moisture like a geological sponge. They look smooth and safe and perfect for cooking, which is exactly what makes them so treacherous. But wait, there's more, because apparently one catastrophic failure mode wasn't enough. Let's talk about what's actually inside these rocks. Minerals? Sure, but not the good kind you'd sprinkle on your salad. Certain stones contain heavy metals, sulfides, and other compounds that have absolutely no business being in your digestive system. When you heat them up, some of these lovely substances become volatile. They can leach into your food or release as vapors that you're breathing in while you cook. So you're playing Russian roulette with geology. Will it explode? Will it poison you? Will it do both? The suspense is killing you, possibly literally. Here's where it gets weirdly ironic. You went into nature to escape modern dangers, to get back to basics, to live like humans did for millennia. Instead, you've created a hazard that combines the worst of demolition work with amateur chemistry. The sad part is, actual historical peoples knew better. They didn't just grab random rocks and start frying. They used specific types of stone, often carved or shaped, that they knew were safe through generations of trial and very explosive error. But we've lost that knowledge because we romanticize survival without understanding the actual survival part. We see a flat stone, we see a fire, and our brains go straight to primitive cooking without stopping at primitive emergency room visit. Some folks argue that you can test stones by heating them slowly or looking for certain characteristics. Sure, you can reduce the risk, but you're still gambling with geological roulette when there are actual safe alternatives sitting in your backpack. Meanwhile, the outdoor influencers keep posting videos with their natural cookware, conveniently editing out the part where stones crack or the timestamps where they're carefully using pre-tested rocks they've used 100 times before. What you see is the highlight reel, not the shrapnel scar. And here's the kicker, modern camping gear isn't even that heavy anymore. A titanium pan weighs less than most river rocks and won't explode or leach toxins. But that doesn't look as authentic on camera, does it? The chemicals concern is especially sneaky because you can't see it, can't predict it, can't test for it easily in the field. That stone might have arsenic compounds, it might have lead, it might have naturally occurring asbestos fibers. You just don't know. Heat accelerates everything. It makes stable compounds unstable, makes trapped gases expand, makes the impossible suddenly very possible. That rock that sat peacefully by the river for 1,000 years, it's now a chaos agent. People have lost eyes to exploding cooking stones. Others have gotten serious burns, infections from embedded fragments, or mysterious illnesses traced back to contaminated food. The emergency room staff have seen it all, and they're not impressed by your survivalist credentials. What's wild is that this keeps happening despite warnings, despite documented cases, despite the physics being pretty straightforward. We collectively decide that this time will be different. This rock looks safe. This technique will work. It's the same cognitive bias that makes people think they can pet wild animals or ignore weather warnings. Nature seems so benign, so manageable, until it very suddenly isn't. And rocks are the least threatening looking natural object until they're airborne. The real survival skill isn't knowing how to use a rock as a pan. It's knowing when not to. It's understanding that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, especially when the failure mode involves high-speed geological shrapnel. So that perfect flat stone you found, leave it where it is. Let it continue its peaceful existence by the riverbank. Your ancestors would approve, trust me, the ones who survived, anyway. Because at the end of the day, survival isn't about looking rugged or authentic. It's about making it home with all your original face parts intact and without mysterious heavy metal poisoning. Not exactly the story you were hoping to tell around the campfire, but definitely the ending you want. The game isn't just about cooking in nature, it's about respecting what nature can do when you mess with its fundamental physics. And sometimes, just sometimes, the modern lightweight camping pan is actually the primitive choice. Funny how that works.